In the quiet village of Pinecrest, nestled at the base of the rugged Blue Ridge Mountains, life was calm and uneventful. The villagers were used to their serene routines, surrounded by the beauty of nature. Among them was a young woman named Emily, known for her love of hiking and exploring the mountain trails. One crisp autumn morning, as the first rays of sunlight pierced through the dense forest, Emily set out on a hike that would change her life forever. Little did she know, she was about to embark on an extraordinary adventure, guided by an unlikely hero, a tiny, stray kitten. Emily had been hiking for hours, losing herself in the tranquility of the forest. The crisp air filled her lungs as she admired the vibrant autumn colors. Suddenly, a misstep sent her tumbling down a steep slope, twisting her ankle painfully. Stranded and unable to walk, she tried to call for help, but her phone had no signal in the remote mountains. Just as panic began to set in, she heard a faint meowing nearby. Struggling to sit up, she saw a tiny, scruffy kitten emerging from the underbrush, its green eyes gleaming with curiosity and determination. The kitten approached Emily cautiously, its tiny paws barely making a sound on the forest floor. Emily extended her hand, and the kitten, after a moment of hesitation, nuzzled against her fingers. She smiled through her pain, feeling a glimmer of hope. "Hey there, little one," she whispered. "What are you doing out here all alone?" The kitten seemed to understand her plight and began to meow insistently, as if urging her to follow. With no other options, Emily decided to trust the small creature. Using a fallen branch as a crutch, she slowly began to follow the kitten deeper into the forest. As they ventured further into the dense woods, Emily marveled at how the kitten seemed to know exactly where to go. It would occasionally glance back at her, ensuring she was still following. Despite her throbbing ankle and the challenging terrain, Emily felt a strange sense of comfort and determination. The kitten led her through a narrow path lined with towering trees and overgrown bushes, until they reached a small clearing. In the middle of the clearing stood an old, rustic cabin that Emily had never seen before. The kitten dashed ahead, waiting at the cabin's doorstep, as if inviting her in. With the kitten by her side, Emily approached the cabin cautiously. The door creaked open with a gentle push, revealing a cozy interior that seemed untouched by time. A warm fire crackled in the hearth, and the smell of herbs filled the air. Emily wondered who could be living in such a remote place. As she stepped inside, she was greeted by an elderly woman with kind eyes and a welcoming smile. "Welcome, dear," the woman said softly. "It seems my little friend has brought you to safety." Emily, taken aback by the woman's warmth, felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over her. The elderly woman, who introduced herself as Margaret, invited Emily to sit by the fire and rest her injured ankle. As Margaret prepared a warm herbal tea, she explained that the kitten, named Whiskers, had a knack for sensing when someone was in trouble. "Whiskers has always had a special gift," Margaret said with a twinkle in her eye. "He seems to know when someone needs help and guides them here." Emily sipped the soothing tea, feeling its warmth spread through her body. She was amazed by the serendipity of finding such a caring soul and her extraordinary feline companion in the middle of the forest. As the evening wore on, Margaret shared tales of the forest and the many travelers Whiskers had guided to safety. Each story was more incredible than the last, leaving Emily in awe of the kitten's bravery and intuition. However, one particular tale caught her attention. Margaret spoke of an old legend about a hidden treasure buried somewhere in the mountains, protected by the spirit of the forest. "Many have searched for it," Margaret said, her voice barely above a whisper, "but only those pure of heart and guided by a true friend can find it." Emily's curiosity was piqued, and she couldn't help but wonder if her encounter with Whiskers was more than mere coincidence. That night, as Emily lay on a makeshift bed near the fire, she couldn't stop thinking about the legend. The thought of a hidden treasure and the possibility that Whiskers might be the key to finding it filled her with excitement. The next morning, she shared her thoughts with Margaret, who smiled knowingly. "Whiskers chose you for a reason," she said. "If you feel the call to search for the treasure, you should follow your heart." Encouraged by Margaret's words and Whiskers' reassuring presence, Emily decided to embark on the quest. With her ankle bandaged and supplies packed, she set out with Whiskers leading the way. Emily and Whiskers trekked through the forest, following paths only the kitten seemed to know. They climbed steep hills, crossed babbling brooks, and navigated through dense undergrowth. Whiskers would occasionally stop, sniff the air, and then proceed with a determined stride. After hours of hiking, they reached a secluded glen bathed in golden sunlight. In the center of the glen stood a towering, ancient oak tree with a trunk so wide it would take several people to encircle it. Whiskers began to dig at the base of the tree, his paws working furiously as if uncovering a long-lost secret. Emily watched in awe as Whiskers continued to dig, feeling her heart race with anticipation. Suddenly, the kitten's paws hit something hard. Emily knelt down beside him and together they cleared away the dirt, revealing an old, weathered wooden box. Her hands trembling with excitement, Emily carefully opened the box to find an assortment of old coins, a delicate locket, and a small, rolled-up parchment. The parchment, when unrolled, displayed a detailed map with markings that seemed to lead further into the mountains. Emily realized this was only the beginning of their adventure, and that the true treasure lay deeper within the heart of the forest. With renewed determination, Emily and Whiskers set out once more, following the map's intricate details. The path grew steeper and more challenging, but the promise of discovery kept them moving forward. Along the way, they encountered various forest creatures, each adding to the magic of their journey. Whiskers seemed to lead with an almost mystical sense of direction, never faltering. As they climbed higher into the mountains, they stumbled upon a hidden waterfall cascading into a crystal-clear pool. Taking a moment to rest, Emily realized that Whiskers had led her to another crucial point on the map, where a symbol indicated a hidden entrance nearby. Emily examined the map closely and saw that the symbol near the waterfall indicated an entrance concealed behind the cascading water. Her heart pounding with excitement, she approached the waterfall, feeling the cool mist on her face. Whiskers trotted confidently beside her, his tail flicking with anticipation. Together, they carefully made their way behind the waterfall, where they discovered a narrow, hidden passageway carved into the rock. The passageway was dimly lit by shafts of sunlight piercing through small openings above, creating an almost ethereal glow. Emily took a deep breath and, with Whiskers leading the way, ventured into the mysterious tunnel. The tunnel twisted and turned, with walls covered in ancient carvings that told stories of the forest and its guardians. As Emily and Whiskers moved deeper, they noticed the glowing moss lighting their path. The air grew cooler and carried a sense of profound mystery. After what felt like hours of navigating the winding tunnel, they emerged into a vast underground chamber. Emily gasped in awe at the sight before her. The chamber was filled with sparkling crystals and shimmering pools of water, creating a breathtaking spectacle. At the center of the chamber stood an intricately carved pedestal, holding what appeared to be an old, ornate chest. With Whiskers at her side, Emily cautiously approached the pedestal. The chest was adorned with ancient symbols, similar to those they had seen in the tunnel. Her hands trembling with anticipation, she lifted the lid to reveal an array of treasures beyond her wildest dreams, gemstones of every color, gold coins, and intricate jewelry that sparkled in the dim light. But among the glittering treasures, Emily found something even more precious, a set of old scrolls tied with a ribbon. As she carefully unrolled one of the scrolls, she realized they contained the lost history and secrets of Willowbrook, knowledge that had been forgotten for generations. As Emily and Whiskers examined the scrolls, they uncovered tales of the village's founders, detailing their journey, struggles, and the secrets they safeguarded. The scrolls also contained ancient wisdom about the forest, its creatures, and the harmonious balance they maintained. Emily realized that these documents were not just a treasure but a key to preserving the heritage and harmony of Willowbrook. Determined to share this newfound knowledge with her village, she carefully packed the scrolls and treasures, knowing that their discovery would strengthen the bond between the villagers and their natural surroundings. With Whiskers leading the way, Emily retraced their steps through the tunnel and back to the surface. The journey back felt lighter, filled with a sense of accomplishment and purpose. When they finally emerged from behind the waterfall, the golden afternoon sunlight greeted them warmly. Emily couldn't wait to return to Pinecrest and reveal the incredible findings to the villagers. As they made their way home, she imagined the impact these ancient secrets would have on her community, fostering a deeper appreciation for their history and the natural world that surrounded them. When Emily and Whiskers arrived back in Pinecrest, the villagers gathered eagerly to hear their tale. As Emily unveiled the treasures and shared the ancient scrolls, a wave of awe and excitement swept through the crowd. The discovery not only enriched their knowledge of the village's past, but also instilled a renewed sense of unity and pride among the residents. In the following days, the village celebrated with festivities honoring their heritage and the remarkable bond between humans and animals. Emily and Whiskers became local heroes, their adventure a lasting reminder of the magic that can be found when hearts are open to the wonders of the world. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and stay tuned for more amazing stories like this one. See you next time.